A determined village boy named David leaves his small hometown to chase his dream of becoming an engineer. The dusty roads of his village and the familiar horizon were all he had ever known. But his heart was set on a world of gears, circuits, and towering structures he had only read about in borrowed books. With a sparse bag and a mind brimming with ambition, he bid farewell to his family, promising to return not just with a degree, but with the power to build a better future for them all. The big city greeted him not with open arms, but with a dizzying rush of indifference and towering skyscrapers that seemed to mock his humble origins. The initial excitement quickly gave way to a harsh reality. He found himself in a world far more challenging than he had ever imagined. The city was a labyrinth of concrete and competition, a place where dreams were easily crushed under the weight of daily survival. Facing hardship at every turn, the city's relentless pace threatened to swallow him whole. Loneliness was a constant companion in his tiny, rented room, a stark contrast to the close-knit community he had left behind. Doubt began to creep in, whispering that he was just a simple village boy, out of his depth in a sea of privileged and well-prepared peers. Hunger became a familiar ache in his stomach as his meager savings dwindled, forcing him to make difficult choices between a warm meal and a necessary textbook. The dream that had burned so brightly now seemed like a distant, flickering star. Refusing to let his circumstances define him, David embraced a grueling routine. By day, he was a ghost in the city's underbelly, working a series of odd jobs to make ends meet. He washed dishes in bustling restaurant kitchens, his hands raw from soap and hot water, his thoughts drifting to complex engineering problems. He delivered packages across the sprawling metropolis, learning the city's intricate map while his mind raced with schematics and formulas. He took on construction work, the physical labor strengthening his body as his resolve hardened his spirit. Each job was a lesson in resilience, a testament to his unwavering commitment. As soon as the sun set, his second life began. While the city slept, David was wide awake, hunched over his desk under the dim glow of a cheap lamp. The late hours were his sanctuary, a quiet time when he could immerse himself in the world of physics, mathematics, and design. He studied by night with a fierce intensity, fueled by coffee and the sheer force of his will. The pages of his books were filled with notes, his mind a workshop of ideas and calculations. Every equation he solved, every concept he mastered, was a small victory against the odds, a step closer to the future he was determined to build. Against all odds, the years of sacrifice paid off. The day he walked across the graduation stage, diploma in hand, was a culmination of every sleepless night and every hungry day. His family, who had traveled for hours to witness the moment, looked on with tears of pride. But for David, this was not the finish line, it was the starting point. He poured his passion and newfound knowledge into his work, driven by a desire to create something meaningful. His unique perspective, born from a life of struggle, allowed him to see problems that others overlooked. He dedicated himself to developing sustainable solutions for rural communities, inventing a revolutionary water purification system that was both affordable and easy to maintain. This life-changing technology, a blend of brilliant engineering and deep empathy, began to transform villages just like his own. He returns home years later not just as a successful engineer, but as a symbol of hope and transformation for his community. The boy who had left with nothing but a dream came back as a builder of futures. He established workshops to train young people, sharing his knowledge and igniting their own ambitions. The clean water flowed, the lights turned on, and with them, a new era of possibility dawned upon his village. David's story became a local legend, a powerful reminder that with perseverance and an unyielding spirit, even the humblest of beginnings can lead to the most extraordinary of achievements, inspiring a new generation to look beyond the horizon and dare to build their own dreams.